Marshmallow Pie. So this is a fresh pie that doesn't get, the only thing that gets baked is our crust, which we mise en place prepared already yesterday. So we got our crust ready, cooled, and set. We have our marshmallow fluff made. A 7-ounce jar equates to 2.5 cups of fresh marshmallow fluff. We made marshmallow fluff 2 days ago in our mise en place. So this is ready for us. And you'll see that I have gloves on today because this, again, does not go in the oven. It requires no further preparation. So that means no more hands-on contact. That means I sanitize my station before I begin, wash my hands, glove up, and then begin. And then I will keep these gloves on until they're torn or damaged or dirty, or I change them after 4 hours of continuous use. Again, we'll just start on our mise en place again for this. So we have our crust, we have our marshmallow fluff. I have my 16 ounces of whipped topping. This is an example of a commercial convenience product. So you at home want to buy 2 8-ounce tubs of Cool Whip or the big 16-ounce tub of Cool Whip and divide that in half. Half of it will go into a pastry bag or a Ziploc bag with a tip in it to use the other half for decorating later. The first half is going to go into our pie as part of our mixture. So I'm only going to use half of this today. I made sure it's thawed. These products, these whipped topping products come frozen. So make sure you're on your feet and have this ready for yourself. The next direction asks for a cup of strawberries chopped and a cup of strawberries just like quartered or decoratively sliced. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on my slicing so that that is ready in my mise en place. So let's see what we're up to here. This procedure only requires a paring knife today. So I have strawberries that have been thoroughly washed, and actually I took the additional step of giving them a 10-to-1 vinegar bath, meaning 10 ounces of water to 1 ounce of vinegar to kill any spoilage microorganisms that might be on these. So I went and purchased these on Monday night, and I wanted to make sure that they were still in good condition to be used throughout the week. So I gave them a bath in that vinegar to kill any spoilage microorganisms, which are discussed as some of those contaminants and biological things that can be found on our food. All right. So I took the extra step, and that is keeping these in good shape so that they can be used today. All right. So let's get started on that production. In this, I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to use this for my junk bowl and just take off the tops. I'm going to make slices here. Actually, these got cut yesterday for a demonstration. I'm going to use these for inside my pie. And these will be the fresh cut ones. I'll set those aside for later. So we're practicing first in, first out. We're definitely going to use these, but we're going to put them on the inside. So any of our strawberries that look a little damaged or got a bruise or two, so what? Get 100% yield out of that purchase and put it on the inside of the pie where no one's going to really see it. They're actually just going to enjoy its flavor because it's a little riper and a little sweeter. So I'm choosing to cut them in these slices because I'm going to do a fanning technique when I assemble my pie for my garnish and plating. That's why I'm choosing to do this. You could choose to just quarter them because you maybe have a different decorating idea. After you see what I do, you can do whatever you want and make it pretty. All right. That's the awesome thing about this career is we are allowed to be artistic. We are allowed to create. This one's got a little bruise here, so I'm gonna just put that on this side here. Oh, look at that cute little guy. I'm gonna keep this cute little one, a smaller one. This one's cuter. I'm gonna keep this little cute guy for the center. It's so cute. All right. All right, I got 1 cup of sliced strawberries prepped. And now I need chopped up strawberries. And it doesn't matter how good they look because we want like little chunks of yummy strawberry bites. So I could take these down into a little bit of a cube. And then grab my chef knife and give them just a little bit of an herb cut. Because if you break them up just a little bit, damage them a little bit, when we whip them around, it'll add just a little pink to this, and it looks really nice. Notice this is a measurement, not an estimate, because when we're producing things like this, we have to keep food cost in mind, and we have to be able to plan and predict how much we need to buy, and what we buy, how much we're going to use, right, of it. So we buy the right amount. You could switch the fruit up on this if you wanted to, any old berry you wanted. You could cross different kinds of berries. Really. Just going to give a few more and stop after that. Ooh, I got a little bit of pour there. Just gonna give these a little bit more of a chop. So I place the palm of my hand on the bridge of my knife, and I just give it a rock. This is a cut that is causing damage to the cells. And right now I'm kind of okay with that because it's going inside. Inside too, you could do something like thawed frozen fruit too. Reduce cost, right? Oh, I see a little leaf. Fried and plate that means we stop when we grab that. So that mise en place is ready. And I'm just going to do a glove change, but because I'm doing the same activity, I don't have to wash my hands. I'm allowed to just change my gloves. So I'm going to change those. I'm just choosing to change them because they're kind of wet from the strawberry, and I don't want to like get strawberry juice all over my mixer, unnecessarily making things dirty. Okay. Whew. Sweaty hands makes things sticky. So after we have all our meats together now, right? No, we don't. We have our cream cheese prepared, and we have to do our zest. So team, there's this tool called a zester that we're going to use. It's a hand tool, and it makes our job and our lives better and easier, and also allows us to incorporate amazing fresh flavors into dishes. So we're going to incorporate that bright, fresh zest that even brings more flavor profile to our dish because it has bitters and sours and that acidities and oils we need. So I'm going to take my hand tool called a zester. Let me grab it and show it to you. So I have this awesome multi-use hand tool here that this top part is a zester. It's got these little holes that are like a blade, and then this part right here I can use for my carrot, like in the Thai coconut soup when I showed you how to channel it. So my recipe calls for the zest from my lemon. So I'm just going to go ahead, focus this up a little for you. and anchor my thumb here on my lemon, place my zester here, and then just use my, and all I'm doing is a pull together, kind of like you learn when you pair things with your tiger paw. So you're just gonna anchor and then just you're pulling toward down, okay? And then you get this cool zest. Now I don't want to go too far. I don't want to get into the white, too much of the white because that's not a desirable flavor. We just want this part, okay? So we're gonna get our zest too that we need. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add it right on top of these chopped up strawberries because that goes in the same step. I've read my recipe from beginning to end, so I know what's going on in there, right? So I get all my zest from my lemon. You could use a microplane for this too, all right? If you don't have a zester, you could use a microplane, or you could use your box grater and use the small side of it to get your zest, okay? And if it was really like you just didn't have it, you could even use a paring knife to very thinly slice and then herb cut, okay? So you could even do that if you had to. You could very thinly slice this lemon skin off and then give it a nice little fine julienne too. You could make that happen with really controlled knife skills. All right, let's assemble our pie. So that means we're gonna go over to our mixer. And our first step tells us to take our cream cheese. We're gonna take our cream cheese and then we're gonna whip it up and we're gonna make sure it's nice and soft with no lumps. So a room temperature cream cheese is ideal here. So our very first step means we take our cream cheese. Our directions ask us to add our measurement of 12 ounces. So that's like 1.5 sticks or 1.5 cubes. Cream cheese, whip it up. Super simple. Our next step, after you get that nice and whipped and soft, is to add our 2.5 cups of marshmallow fluff. You can purchase the convenience item marshmallow fluff, or you can make it yourself. This is the batch that we made together just on Tuesday. So we'll add our marshmallow fluff, whip that in. That looks nice. I'm going to scrape my bowl down because there's going to be some cream cheese kind of stuck on the inside. So we want all that cream cheese to be a part of this party. Practicing good practice and scraping our bowls down. It's awkward at first, but you'll get the hang of it. Notice how I'm using my mixer to scrape off my spatula. There's a nice little tip to take away. Our next direction tells us to add our 8 ounces of whip. All right, let's do that, no problem. I already have mine purchased in a convenience product from Cisco. So you can kind of see what it looks like when we're in this job and how we handle this. So half goes in, we mix it up. That looks awesome. Now, if you taste this right now, you'll taste this just nummy, nummy fluffiness. And now it's time to flavor it / season it, okay? So now this is when we pick our flavor. We get our lemon zest in. Any fruit you use, I keep that lemon zest in the recipe. And really dip it up. Make it a little thick. That's beautiful. Got a nice little pink hue to it. I love it because now there'll be a division line when we cut this open. We'll be able to see what's happening. So now we just move to our very next step. Easy peasy. And we just turn to our crust. All right. We just turn to our crust. We take our mixing bowl and we dump all of the contents right inside. Move this camera so you can see me work a little better. There we go. I tend to face the mixing bowl towards the product and kind of work in this direction. My muscles work a little better that way. I can get everything out of the mixing bowl. Kind of peek around. Get all that product in there. None of it's meant for the dish room. Beautiful. I'll just move away from my little dab that I dropped. And then you're just going to take your spatula, distribute that around. And this is going to need like 4 hours in the fridge to kind of firm up, set up, okay? Because right now, if we cut through it, it'd be like this weird pudding. It wouldn't work out. And now we can stop here. You don't have to be obsessive because this is the spot where you can decorate any old way you want. So this is where I think I'm going to just make a real fine layer of whip. And just clean off this pinkiness on this spatula here. And I'm just going to make like a defining whip layer. And for me, honestly, if I was making this for the ladies to be serving or the gentlemen servers, I would probably put all of my strawberry on and leave the whip for them after they cut it and plate it, for them to put the whip on decoratively and less damage to happen. So where'd my cool, cute strawberry go? There we go. And then I think I'm going to just make a little, ooh. So you can just put a tip, like a pastry tip, into a piping bag or into a Ziploc bag, and you're set. You can see why I'm wearing gloves. Nobody would want me to manhandle their pie, right? Then we come to this last guy, that right there. Always work in front of you with your piping bag. Don't try to work out in weird angles. You'll get more consistent looking dots and stars and kisses or whatever you want to call it. All right, more strawberries. I love it. Ooh, I just touched it. So have fun with this, right? Have fun putzing with it. making it look just as beautiful as you want. Kind of going for that fanned out look. And then if you're on the heels, just flip them over. See? No biggie. There's like 3 in a row. Looking good. Again, I'll remind you, let this set up. This is going to be a dessert that you want to make in advance. You want to use a really sharp paring knife when working with these strawberries so that the cells don't get damaged and they hold well. You know, making sure that you're using your blade and not your strength when cutting things like this, because these will be sitting exposed. So any damaged cells aren't going to hold up very well. It'll start to brown and look sad. I think that's too small. Oh. Reminding you to make sure you keep turning this and have the perfect amount of whip. And then any damage made in service can be repaired with your extra that. So we get this into the fridge. So here we go. Isn't it gorgeous, you guys? Aren't you proud? You can do this. This is totally doable by you. Making a graham crust, 10 minutes, you bake it. Making your marshmallow fluff, remembering that this is a ready-to-eat food the whole time you're preparing it. So you're going to make sure you're practicing good hand hygiene. Remembering to protect your fruits with good sharp knives, using your blade, not your strength when cutting it, so that these stay looking beautiful later. We don't want this red leaking into our whip. We want it to just stay contained. So I'm going to put this in the fridge, practicing time and temperature control while it sets up. I'm not going to just leave it on the counter and do 6 more pies. I'm going to practice time and temperature control and get it right in so that none of the 4 hours that this has in its TCS life is being taken up by me. It can be taken up by our guest in a to-go box in the back of their car. So everybody, you just have the most wonderful day, a most wonderful weekend if it's your weekend. And I'll see y'all on Tuesday.